Today it's my great pleasure to welcome David Buffonge, who is the co-founder and executive director of an architecture and urban planning and design company from Hong Kong, Lead8. David, how are you today?
Very well, thank you very much, Pamela. We focus on a lot of mixed-use developments and transit-oriented designs. Most of our projects are about 1 million square foot up, and they're very retail-led mixed-use projects. It's one of the largest projects that we're doing currently is Sky City in Hong Kong. It's called 11 Skies, and it's by New World Development, and it's about 3.8 million square foot of mixed-use entertainment, dining. We find that our clients all have these new goals, new values. We call it sort of post-COVID thinking. And many of our projects have now integrated this sort of new era of what we call flexibility. And the word flexibility comes up in every meeting today. The fact that our buildings need to be able to accommodate change over time and be allowed for multiple uses. So typically, our buildings are mixed-use buildings. I'll show you this diagram if this helps. But we typically have a mixed-use project, which is a podium, which predominantly would be retail in the past. Okay. Then there's an office tower, and then there's a residential or hospitality component. So there's sort of this triangle of activities all work together as a whole. What we found now recently is that the retail part at the bottom of the building, the podium portion, has now become even more mixed use. So now we're integrating sort of education, flexible workspace, art galleries, museums, wellness into the bulk of the podium of the building.
Yes, now on that point of technology, what technologies are being used in new buildings?
Your ice cream using a robot, and I mean, I think it's also becoming quite popular because of hygiene. And also in China, which is who has embraced technology even more than any other part of the world. If you're in a hotel and you have food delivered, it comes by a robot. A robot comes down the corridor.
Just coming back to retailing, with the push for online shopping, how are the small retailers going to adapt? Because a lot of their customers will be shopping online. So what are they going to do to pivot, to innovate?
It's quite easy for anyone to open an e-tail shop, if you make a great product. And if you take a small percentage of those millions of new shops and retail outlets, e-tail outlets that's come on board, some of them need physical space, but they just need smaller space. So what we're working on in many of our projects is this concept of co-retailing. Imagine you had 4 or 5 retailers using that same space, curating their sort of merchandise and using a sort of online checkout system.
On that note, David, the point about sustainability, the global push to get our carbon emissions down and improve our focus on, looking after our climate. What's happening in your sector? What are clients asking for?
Post-COVID, I think things are now changing. It's more than just about building a brand and trying to get the best tenants. Now it's about saving energy, and the whole climate crisis is also at the forefront of all the discussions with our clients and property owners. We're now trying to bring more nature into our buildings as well, into our buildings. So there's now green. There's topics like biophilia. In fact, we believe that the landscape architect will be replaced by the urban ecologist in the future.
Are you seeing other innovations in the property sector which are going to impact on your industry going forward?
Yes, well, the technology of the building materials, that's also changing. I mean, there's concepts of robotics that will help to build your building faster.
The last thing I'd like to talk about is the rising mental health.
Well, we strongly think more breakout space, more green spaces in our buildings. But it's not only just, we touch a lot on sustainability, but there's also the psychology of a building. And in our projects, we try to integrate art and sculpture and nature and culture